Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today I have a new Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner in this box with a few other things. I honestly cannot remember what those other things are. So we're going to do an unboxing and we're going to find out what I ordered and take a look at the new Deluxe Monthly. So this is the 2018-19 Deluxe Monthly. You can have it for just calendar year or you can start it any month you want. Let's take a look. If you're not familiar with Erin Condren, she always comes with a label sticker for you to use on a gift, and she always comes with a motivational postcard also. We're gonna get the loud stuff out of the way. Okay, isn't it always interesting when you don't remember what you ordered from somewhere? Which actually happens to me a lot, like with Amazon and everything. By the time my order comes, you guys, I must have a short-term memory problem because I honestly don't remember what I ordered. Anyway, when I open it, it comes right back to me. But I got 2 sets of the wet erase markers. One's for me and one is for my sister. There's a couple things in here divided between my 2 sisters. I have never tried her wet erase, but now that she has a fine tip, I'm going to give it a try. There are a few things I write in my dashboards with a fine tip Sharpie marker, and then I just remove it with rubbing alcohol or fingernail polish remover. But I'm going to try this and see if I like using these better. It's kind of fun to have these colors, and I will definitely give my review on these in my Instagram. If I don't do it at the end of this video, I will try to remember to write on the dashboard and give you guys a review at the end of this video. But if I don't, definitely follow me on Instagram. I'm at Amandasfavorites. That's where I check in every single day. We have a really nice community going there, and I just love that spot. So join me on Instagram. Okay, so those are for one of my sisters. Both of my sisters are younger than me. This is for my other sister. Let me see what these are. This is something my youngest sister wanted me to order for her. I'm not sure if she knew what this was because I didn't know what it was when she requested it. And now that I see it in person, it's not what I thought it was. This is a book of designer sticker sheets. And what it is I just folded the first sheet out and it popped right out. So it's all those different prints that she mentioned in there on the front. I don't want to bend it too much because I'm afraid they're going to all pop out. It looks like it's, 2 of each of these prints, and there's 12 designs. So you can cut these. There's a cutting guide on the back. However you want. This is a big sticker sheet right here. So you can cut them to be able to use on your planner pages wherever and however you want. I think that's actually really handy. Now, since I'm not a huge sticker person, I don't think I would take the time to use these because it would take time and more planning to use these. There's some examples. But I think it's a way to get a lot of different sticker designs for cheaper than buying her pre-cut sticker sheets where everything's already on there, the exact sizes, and you may not end up using everything on the sheet. So that's a really interesting book. I will have to see if my littlest sister knew what she was ordering when she requested that. Then this is, let me get the loud stuff off. Alrighty, I'm very excited about this. This is her new personalized notepad, where you can make each section be something different. And a lot of times per week, these are the things that I divide up my categories into on my weekly list. So if this works for my weekly list, I think this would be really awesome, and I would definitely order more of these. So I'm going to try it out and see if I end up using it for my weekly list. Kind of my big to-dos for the week. Obviously, like not all my to-dos because they wouldn't fit in there. Of course, some extra to-dos could roll over to there. Stuff that I have to get done online, like orders and such, it would not be like my channel work. There's not enough room for that. Errands that need to be run that week to call on that week. And this would be extra, like stuff I need either my husband to do or my son to do. Sorry, I don't even think I have that in the screen there. So you can label these different sections, of course, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or you can label them anything you want personalized. You can put up here anything you want. Since I was just going to use it per weekly, I just put the date and drew out the colored line. So this is a really cool new product from Erin Condren. I'm very excited to try this and see if it works for my weekly list. I just got a double pack of her 4x9 list notepads, in mid-century circles because I use these all the time. I did not get anything personalized at the bottom because sometimes that just distracts me when I'm making lists, and I prefer not to have my name on everything. And so anyway, this is just one of my favorite prints from her, and I've actually never bought a notepad of this print. So I am excited to have this notepad. Then I got just a dashboard of her mid-century circles since I'm a big fan of them. And I have a dashboard that I use already, but I did not have the mid-century circles. So I threw that in. And then I got this, an on-the-go travel checklist. I put our last name up there as the personalization. So even though y'all have probably already seen my last name on things, I'm just going to cover it up anyway. Because usually when we go on trips, we don't travel that much. So it will probably take me my entire lifetime to use this entire tablet. I just thought, yes, you can print pre-printed lists online, but I mean, how much more fun is it to have a colorful Erin Condren list, right? So this just helps guide me so we don't forget any of the main things. And then of course I will have a lot of other things to add more than that will fit here. So I will still be using like another legal pad. Basically what this will help me with is thinking of some of the main things that I might forget. I like how they're divided into different categories like miscellaneous, health, hygiene, beauty, makeup, technology, that type of stuff. And I just think it'll help me when we're packing for things to help me remember those things. All right, now we're going to get into the Deluxe Monthly. Okay, so this is the Deluxe Monthly. I opted for the calendar year because that's what my Deluxe Monthly is this year that I'm using, so I'll need this to replace it. I'm using a Deluxe Monthly for a budget spend tracking notebook. Not really budgeting, it's spend tracking. I will link that video down below here in the description box. I'm actually using 3 Deluxe Monthlies right now, and I will link all those videos down in the description box with how I'm using them. They are all calendar year. One that I am using is the budget spend tracking. One I am using for homeschooling, and that was still calendar year because I just happened to pick it up in that last year. And then the third one I am using just kind of as a monthly and weekly planning list type of thing and sitting on an easel on my desk that way. And all 3 of those videos will be linked down below if you're interested in how and why I'm using 3 Deluxe Monthlies at once. Of course, right now is the summer, so I'm not using my homeschooling one. But I know I am going to at least use 2 of these next year. So I went ahead and got this one. She has changed some things in the design this year of the pages in the Deluxe Monthly. So we're going to go through that, and I'll show you my last year's, or actually this current year, calendar year 2018, to compare it. I went ahead and paid the extra to get a gold ring in this one, which I really never do in Deluxe Monthlies. But I got this gold ring thinking that it's always nice if I want to transfer my 12-month planner to a smaller ring, that the Deluxe Monthly might fit that. So we will see. I did not get any extra pages. That's another option of Deluxe Monthlies. You can get in increments of 40 extra pages, so it comes with 40 pages. And I believe that's counting front and back. I need to count to make sure on that. It comes with 40 pages. You can get another 40 added, so to 80 total for $5 extra, and you can get another 40 added, so for $10 extra, you can bump it up to 120. I've never gotten 120, but I have gotten 1 extra set of 40 added in this Deluxe Monthly that I'm using for my daily and weekly lists right now. So I did add an extra 40 pages in this one. This one's going to be my budget notebook, and I knew I didn't need more than the 40 pages, so I didn't get any more in that one. But here we go. This is a look at this year's 2018. The coil is smaller, and this one has extra pages in it. So that makes no sense to me. I actually like this smaller coil. I don't need it to be bigger, although having this be a little bit bigger might work well if I ever want to put a 12-month planner in here, if I feel like her 12-month ring is too big, which I did for this coming year for the 2019 one. I have a recoiling video, which I will try to remember to link below also, but you can also find it on my Erin Condren playlist. If you're interested to see why I recoiled and how I recoiled, it was not as easy as all those other YouTubers make it look. at least not for me. So this is a smaller ring, which I prefer, but since I might transfer a 12-month planner in here at some point, I guess it's good it has a bigger ring. But this only just has the normal 40 notes pages at the end. This Deluxe Monthly, I added 40 extra, so this has 80 notes pages, and it's not too bulky. So I would say if you need more notes pages, you could add up to the 120. It's not going to be too bulky because this is a monthly only. There are no weekly pages in this book. So let's go through the new one, and then I will show you how it's different to the old one. This is her new Deluxe Monthly. I got the hexagon cover with no, it's very rare that I usually put some words or quotes on my stuff. I usually don't put my name, but I usually put Amanda's Favorites, or I put some words or quotes. I really like this cover I made and personalized. You can change the colors on this one to make it whatever you want. In case you're not familiar with Erin Condren, all her covers snap on and off, so you can change all your covers out with Erin Condren very easily. But I got the hexagons, and I guess I didn't get my initials, or I think this one was for initials down there. They're cute hexagons, I think. Your dashboard, that's always where you can write with your wet erase markers right there. And you can stick sticky notes there. You can do all kinds of things with having a dashboard. You have your nameplate page, and her Woven Wonder is her theme for this year. If you're not familiar, Erin Condren changes her theme for every year, and this one is Woven Wonder, which is her 2018-19 theme. And also, she has two different colorways. You can choose Colorful, which is this one, or Neutral. Neutral still has Woven Wonder in it. It just has less color in it. I do have a entire Erin Condren video showing all three of the weekly layouts for this year, and I will link that down below. And it's the hourly, the vertical, and the horizontal. And I do have a neutral in there to show you the neutral versus the colorful. So I will try to remember to link that video. It's also on my Erin Condren playlist. If I fail to do that, someone can also tell me in the comments. So I will add it in. Okay, so right when you go in here, you start with a quote page. On that quote page, you have your tab that says 2018-19. Since you can start this any month you want starting now, and it will run for 12 months, whatever month you start in. So you can start in any month starting right now in July, and then you could start it in August, you could start it in September, October, November, December, and then if you start it in January, that's as far as you can go because it's going to run 12 months. So that is a really nice option they've added on this year. You have your year at a glance, and since you can start it right now, July 2018, they've given you all the rest of 2018 as well as starting here into your 2019, your year at a glance. Then you get your 12 boxes. I love these boxes because you can use them for anything and everything you want. They're so versatile since they're not even labeled with the months. I like that, especially since you can start this planner any month you want. I think it's great that they were left open. That way, you know, any month you start it, you can start your month there. What I use these for in my normal weekly Erin Condren planner is I put all the bills that only come like once a year. I'm sorry I don't have my weekly up here to show you. That's downstairs on my kitchen desk. But it's all the bills that like Amazon Prime, Audible, our life insurance, our HOA fees, all those bills that come like 1 to 3 times a year. They're not like a monthly bill. I put those on here so I can see, which months are jam-packed, like which month is our life insurance paid for the whole year in, our car insurance is paid twice a year, that type of thing. I can see it all mapped out on here. Now in my Deluxe Monthly for homeschool, I use this to map out certain things. In my budget notebook, I don't really use these at all. I don't think I've written anything in them. So depending on what you use your Deluxe Monthly for, you may or may not use those. Then you go into and you have a few notes pages for January. I believe these are supposed to be in front of January notes pages. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you're counting fronts and backs right there. Then you have your January, and she added tabs this year, which I am so enthralled about, you guys. Last year we did not have tabs, and I did buy her sticky tabs and add them to my budget notebook. but I didn't add them to any of my other Deluxe Monthlies. So this is my Deluxe Monthly that I've been using for weekly and monthly lists. Like this would be my monthly list. These 5 boxes are no longer in here. They're just blank note pages, you guys. So I will show you that difference. But this is this year, 2018 calendar year. And there are no tabs. You could buy her sticky tabs and add them on, and I did do that in my budget notebook. If you watch that video down below, you'll see that. But I did not add them to like this one or my homeschool one simply because they were $7 or $8. And I just felt like on the cost of the notebook, I just didn't feel like adding them. They weren't 100% necessary for me to function well with it. It just makes it easier. With my budget one, my spend tracking, it was 100% necessary because I was flipping back and forth through months a lot. Okay, so she added tabs. Yay, because any monthly planner, in my opinion, that is, you know, coil bound and can have tabs, and it should have tabs. It should have tabs. Then you get your monthly layouts. That's the base of the Deluxe Monthly Planner. And then just, it's a lot of extra note pages. So it's basically your months and then a lot of extra note pages. Some note pages in between each month, and then the 40 extra at the end, and then you can add even more than that. So you have your monthly layout. This is exactly how her weekly planners look, if you're not familiar with that. These same monthly layouts are in her weekly planners. If you get colorful, you get fun things like the holidays, like that, with, you know, a little design there or a little colorful picture. If you get the neutral design, those little pictures are not written with the holiday, but your holiday is still written in. If you get neutral instead of colorful, you just don't have these big stripes of color up here. Like I said, if you want to see a neutral, I will put that video down below. It's my big showing the 3 layouts for 2019 for Erin Condren video, and there is a neutral in there comparing it with a colorful. You have a little glance at your next month right down here. That's something that was added this year too. Oh, and you also have the moon phases on here. All right. Then you have before your month starts, so that's your monthly layout. And the tabbed page is on a heftier weight cardstock paper. And then the normal paper is hefty in itself. It's 80-pound, just beautiful paper. Pens do not have a problem in it. I will show you the one that I have written in already. There is no bleed through, and there is very little, if any, ghosting at all. I love Erin Condren paper. It takes pens so well. It has a little bit of tooth to it, which I know that's just a personal preference. I love having a little bit of tooth to my paper. And her paper smells amazing. It really does, you guys. It smells amazing. So after January, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're counting front and back, you have those 5 total lined note pages in between every month. All they are is lined, okay? So that's it. Last year, we had 5 boxes. We had a productivity column. I will show you that. But that's gone. This year, you can tell this is the January color. Goes for your first 4 pages. And then on the back, they're thinking you're going to use that for February. But of course, you could use it with January if you wanted. So they switched to the February color to match this page. I do love how the Erin Condren colors in her design flow with the seasons. And they flow with the holidays of that season. And I know that only works for the US. I'm sorry to you international guys. But for me, I personally just really love that. I need my colors to flow with the seasons and the holidays, because that's just a big thing in making me happy. And that's a reason why the Erin Condren planners make me happy. I love how the colors change every month and flow with that. So then after your 5 lined notes pages, you go into your next month. Then you have your 5 lined note pages again, and you have your pink flags for February and then switches to green for March. You have a motivational quote on every month tabbed page right here. And look how cute. I just love in the colorful one how you have little things like that, little flowers on the day that spring begins. When you're supposed to spring your clocks forward for our daylight savings time here, which I really wish we lived in a state that maybe didn't do that, but we will move on from that. And so then you just have 5 notes pages, line pages in between every month, open to your interpretation for what you want to use these for. If you watch my videos down below on how I use my notebook for spend tracking, for homeschooling, and for what's the other thing I use it for? For my, sorry guys, I've used it for daily lists in the back. I use it for my weekly and monthly lists in between here. So that's how I've used it. I always have big lists going. April is purple, May is peach, in case you haven't seen an Erin Condren. June is green, July is a navy, August golden yellow, September a nice eggplant purple, October beautiful orange, November a really nice, I don't know what you call that blue, a tealish, not really teal, no. I'm not sure. Somebody tell me what we would call that blue. And then a lime green for December, which is honestly my least favorite color out of her entire calendar. I really don't want lime green in December because that makes me think of like summer green colors. But I really wish it was a little bit more focused on our holiday colors. But then I know like everyone doesn't celebrate Christmas. So then it's like, what color do you put, right? I know, it gets complicated. So after your December, you have your 5 pages. And then you have your next year at a glance. So it's 2020. This is for planning out your appointments ahead of time. I love when planners have this in here. Now, I don't necessarily use it in my Deluxe Monthly, but I do use it in my weekly planner. So as you make appointments for, you know, the next year, of course, I'll enter them in my phone, but I can also write them on here. And so when I get my new planner for the next year, it's easy to see where my doctor appointments, dentist appointments, or vacation days are by just glancing here. I love that. I love the colors in her planner. It is a happy feeling planner. Okay, that ends, and you even get a tab for your notes section. Like I said, it comes with 40 note pages. Okay, so this is how much it looks. 40 note pages right here like this. I just counted all those for you guys because I figured it was front and back, but I wanted to make sure. So 40 note pages, and that's counting front and back. So it's actually 20 pages. So that can give you an idea of how thick her paper is also, because this is only 20 pages. So that's 40 note pages front and back. That's 20 pages. You can add another 40 for $5. Then you have 80 front and back. You can add another 40 for 5 more, so $10 total. And that will give you 120 total front and back, or 60 pages. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So this is without any added on. It's what comes with it. It is the 20 note pages, but front and back, you're hitting 40 pages. It's all lined. The colors just change and rotate throughout with her colored flags. Then you get 2 sheets, you guys, of her label stickers right here. At least I call them label or appointment stickers. I really love that even the Deluxe Monthly comes with 2 sheets of these. I always end up tearing these out when I need to use them because it's just easier for me than always flipping back up here. I end up tearing them out when I use them. But you get a pocket just like her weekly life planner. This pocket is very functional. This pocket, I can't fit much in. It's tiny, but it's really cute, but I can't fit much in it. Then you have a dashboard at the back. And that is your Deluxe Monthly planner, you guys, for this year. I will show you a little bit about how it changed from last year. Last year, in between, so you had your month, okay, and then you went into, instead of plain line note pages, now we get 5 line note pages, right? Last year, you got 1 page with 5 boxes, which I really loved to use those for, in all 3 of the ways I use my monthly Deluxe, I loved those. And this one, this was my monthly list, and I divided it by to-do, errands, call on, online, and my husband's list. And then I could list other things on this productivity page. This is called her productivity paper. It comes in her notebooks. You can order it in her notebooks. And it's half lined and half tick boxes over here. That's what it looks like. So her notebooks, you can order a whole notebook of these productivity pages. You actually can't order a whole notebook of just colored lined paper with the colored flags. She has a whole notebook of just lined paper, but it has a light gray header at the top and no color. So these exact pages cannot be ordered in a notebook. These can. These cannot. I'm hoping she's going to offer a notebook that has these and these like this layout. Hopefully. I'm crossing my fingers at some point. I loved these 5 boxes. I'm honestly sad they're gone, but you have more paper in between each month. And sure, I can just divide out 5 sections. It won't look as neat though, and it won't already be done for me. So that's my deal. That's my thoughts on it. But you only got 3 pages. You got your 5 boxes, you got your productivity page, and then you got a dot grid. And then that was it. The next month started. Okay? And so that was how it flowed every month. You got your 5 boxes, you had your productivity page, and then you had your dot grid. So now we're getting, instead of 3 pages, we're getting 5 in between each month. And she did not raise the price, but everything else is pretty much the same, and the extra pages at the back. So that's what has changed in the Deluxe Monthly from last year. I wanted to pop this in here because I know people will ask me, so how am I going to use the lined page in the new Deluxe Monthly from Erin Condren for my budget versus how I use it now with the 5 boxes? The 5 boxes just worked perfect for me because it just helped my mind section everything off. I just do spend tracking. It's not actually a budget notebook. And that video will be linked down below if you want to know all about this spend tracking notebook and how I use it. But this is how I keep track of the main stores and the totals I want for each month. And it's just easy for the Sprouts, Kroger, Target, Amazon, and Medical to be in these 5 boxes. And then I put their total right below their name. And, you know, visually, it just really works for my mind. So I've just drawn this out in January of 2019 because this is the calendar year and I'll get to use it through the end of 2018. And this is just what I'm kind of thinking. So I'll use it for a month. I might end up drawing boxes, but right now I'm thinking I don't want to go through all that time every month to draw the boxes. So I will probably just list my grocery runs below here. And then I'm thinking maybe the total will go at the top right next to each one instead of right below each one. And then I already drew out my page at the end because it's working perfectly for me this year. And it's just my totals page, so I can look at it at the end of the year. And this is how it's looking for 2018. And I basically made the same thing for 2019, but maybe made it a little bit neater and drew lines. Basically, I put my totals for each month right there. And then I total Sprouts, Kroger, Target, the first 3, because those are groceries type of things. And I put that total in blue under each month because that kind of just, it helps me to see it. So I can't wait till I have my first year done and I can see the whole recap here. But I'm going to basically do the same thing. And so my monthly, you know, my boxes are not going to be able to be used unless I want to draw them out. It's just going to be on lined pages. And then the opposite side I use for other big expenses that month that are kind of out of the ordinary that I just want to let myself know that we had. I use it for eating out, for Sonic drink runs, for big things like, you know, car repairs, new tires, expenses. So those things stand out to me, and that will all fit just fine on the lined page. So that will, once again, just go right next to here on the lined page. All that will go fine here. So this page, I'll just kind of redesign how I use it. It's not a make it or break for me. It's just, I love the 5 boxes. And the 5 boxes also really worked for my homeschool. And I have a video about that that will be linked below. And it also worked for my monthly list, which I used my other monthly deluxe for. So it just worked for me in that aspect. I will miss the 5 boxes, but it doesn't mean that I can't use the monthly deluxe. So that's just how I'm planning. I'm not planning to draw out the boxes because I think this will work just fine. And I will keep you guys updated on here and even more on Instagram. So join me there on Instagram at Amandasfavorites. Okay, and because I aim to please, I'm getting out my wet erase markers right here and writing on my new dashboard. Okay, they're pretty fine tip, but they're not as fine tip. I don't have like a fine tip Sharpie up here that I can get to easily. They're not as fine tip as a fine tip Sharpie. So I think I might be sticking with that. It is fun to have some bright colors though. That is fun. Let's see how when they dry, how they do. Then you would just take them off with any wet cloth. She sells some wet cleaning cloths with alcohol in them. But I think you can use any wet cloth. I don't know. I haven't used her wet erase before. Like I said, I write on all my dashboards with Sharpie, fine tip. marker, and then it's permanent until I want to take it off with either, I usually use rubbing alcohol, but you can use fingernail polish remover also. So there are the 4 fine tip colors. Those are the only colors she sells right now. Let's see how that is now. Let's hope it's dry. You guys, I'm pressing really hard and my finger's pretty sweaty just because I've been filming this video and because it's the summer in Texas. So, okay, so my finger was pretty sweaty there and it did take it off with the sweat. Or was that my spit? I think my spit went on there. You guys, I'm not a good tester. Let's try that again because I have seen other people, well, kind of messed that up, huh? I've seen other people test these out and they have just rubbed their fingers along it. I think my spit went on there. I wasn't watching because I'm trying to watch my camera and do this. Sorry, I'm not the neatest tester. Let's let it dry a minute because I do want to give it a minute. But these are her fine tip wet erase marker sets. She has ones with a broader tip, and that's why I never bought them to try because I knew I didn't want to be writing with a broader tip on my dashboards and for what I use them for. I already have a problem writing neatly, and I definitely don't. I need it to be finer. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I'm rubbing really hard, you guys. Those are not coming off. I think my sweat is making them smear a little bit, but they're really not coming off. I think that was my spit. And these do come off with anything wet. So if you have sweat or spit, you know, I mean, they're going to come off. I don't know if I'm going to use these or if I'm going to stick with my fine tip Sharpies. You know, I'll keep you updated on Instagram, so join me there. All right, guys, thanks for watching today. I hope this video was helpful. Happy planning until next time. Bye-bye.